Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to yet another review on Real Housewives of Potomac, girl. Let's talk about it. So we are at the top of the scene where Miss Mia done cussed out Giselle and told her F her. All right, for her to think that she done posted some stuff about her health for attention, girl. All right, but meanwhile, you got Giselle over there jumping up and down, saying, F me, F me, yes, F me, girl. I'm like, what is going on with Giselle? Okay, so Mia is trying to find out what's wrong with her sharing her brokenness because she was broken, she was hurt when she learned this information. So she's not understanding why it's such a big deal for the ladies, right? So then her best friend Jacqueline decided to step into the conversation and says, when you going through stuff, like, girl, sometimes SHI don't be clear when you going through it. And that's just crazy, that Jacqueline stepped in to really have Mia's back, only for the ladies to be on the outs, only for Miss Mia to try and expose her friend at a later time. So I'm just wondering how Miss Jacqueline feels about her now. But anyway, girl, let's go ahead and keep going, or at least how she feels about everything as she watches the show back, right? So Robyn says that she invited that attention because she left it open ended, and Jacqueline was trying to let Robyn know, well, it is open ended because she's still waiting to get additional results, so she doesn't even know what's going on. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, truthfully, I feel like anybody that posts anything on social media is seeking some form of attention. Right? They just are. So I just don't understand why these ladies are heavily policing what this woman posted about her health. If she is going through a health crisis, whether that's clear to you or not clear to you, if you're saying that you're her friend, then why not just say, hey, I hate that you're going through stuff. If you need anything, let me know. Da, da, da. And then maybe watch her actions from that point. And if she starts to bring out other actions that goes against what you would think about her being sick, then maybe we can have the conversation at that point. But I just feel like the ladies were doing too much, in my opinion. Okay, now Wendy, Candiace, and the scholars see what's going on, and Wendy like, girl, what they doing over there? Is that Mia friend talking? Like, oh, girl, what's going on over there? And Candiace said, I do not want to go. Please don't make me go. Please don't. Do we gotta go over there, girl? We finna go. We gotta go. Oh, I don't want to go over there. And I think it was Ashley too. I think they all were talking before they headed over that way. I think it was Ashley. But anyway, the ladies walked over, right? So Karen tells Giselle that she was wrong for questioning that woman's post. Y'all, Karen be up and down when it comes to me. Sometimes I like Karen, sometimes I can't stand Karen because Karen definitely gives off fake at times. And shout out to Jacqueline for kind of calling some things out. And we'll talk about that once we get to that point, right? So Robyn goes off and says, what y'all not finna do is sit up here and act like me and Giselle were the only people up here questioning stuff. And she started naming names. Candiace said it. Karen said it. Ashley said it. And I loved it. Only person I did not hear them mention was Wendy. But outside of that, they damn near named the entire cast. And I didn't mind that. I was glad. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yes, Ashley, be loud. I'm not Ashley, but Robyn, yes, be loud, be vocal, call names, girl. Just make sure you keep that same energy all across the board, okay? Period. But anyway, let's keep going. Now, Jacqueline is trying to talk to the ladies, and then next thing you know, we get Wendy said, oh, girl, I'm sorry, girl, but who is this? I ain't trying to be rude, girl, but who is this? Girl, you talking about a pause and then a bust out of laughter? It definitely came from me. That timing was so perfect. It was perfect. She said, I'm not trying to be rude, but who are you? I'm sorry, who are you? And so, of course, Jacqueline introduced herself or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, Miss Wendy, you may not be trying to be rude, but you definitely were trying to be shady, if you ask me. But don't worry, girl. I enjoyed all of that. I enjoyed Robyn naming names, and I enjoyed Wendy interrupting, asking Jacqueline, who is this? Okay. Now, Sharice done arrived, and Giselle is over there looking at Karen like, girl, y'all on good terms? Are y'all good? Like, are y'all okay or whatever? And I'm like, it don't matter if they good or not, because between you and Robyn, one of the two of y'all invited her, because I'm sure Karen did it. Right. So then, of course, not Giselle, but of course, Sharice and Karen did hug on each other or whatever. Sharice says, listen, girl, I want to have a conversation. I want to chat. Like, I want us to get back good, how we used to be or whatever like that. And Karen says, I'm open to that. I'm open to that. But she really not. Y'all, I truly feel like Sharice has tea on Karen. She already called Karen out a while ago on the reunion before she ended up leaving the reunion. And yes, like I think Sharice has a little bit of information on all of the ladies. On all of the ladies. And I feel like Sharice left the show before she really could. I don't know, because I'm trying to see how many episodes she was on or how many seasons she was on before she left. And I'm thinking about Monique. I'm trying to see how many seasons was she on the show with Monique, because I also feel like she probably know more information about Miss Monique too. And I kind of feel like they probably still ain't cool either to this day. I feel like Sharice probably know all about this alleged trainer situation or whatever is going on, honey. Okay, but I just wonder. I also feel like Sharice about know whether or not the rumors are true about Miss Monique and her husband actually separating or not separating, child. So yeah. I wonder. I wonder. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep going, okay? So Karen goes over to check on Mia, and Mia says that, listen, girl, I can't control Giselle's personality disorder, okay? So it is what it is, girl. I'm going through my own stuff. I don't know why God chose me to go through this. I guess I'm the chosen one, honey, but I don't have time for the other FS that's going on, okay? So just go away from me with this, right? So that's what's going on there, okay? Katie ends up arriving, and Candiace says she hasn't seen her since she disappeared at the Cayman Islands, okay? I ain't seen this lady since she disappeared from there. Hilarious. She said then she gonna turn around and turn up, coming back as a green-eyed and a bald-headed something. Girl, Candiace know she had me tickled. So Sharice is trying to get back in good with Karen. So while she's over there talking to Karen, Candiace and Ashley are smiling, having a conversation. Candiace lets her know, like, listen, girl, I'm freezing my eggs or whatnot. And in addition to me freezing my eggs or whatnot, girl, understand that I'm also going to the Grammys. How exciting is that? Okay, so of course they talk about all of that, right? Now, Karen gives this speech, which was very weird, and she talks about haters and naysayers or whatever she had going on. And I was like, everybody else, like, girl, what the fuck is she talking about? What the hell is going on? And then Karen ends the speech by saying that the Grand Dame is back. And I said, Grand Dame is back as in Sharice? That must be who you talking about, because everybody else is wondering where you went. You've still been here. So what do you mean the Grand Dame is back? You must be talking about Sharice, girl. But either way, let's keep going, okay? So Giselle is judging Karen's party, saying that it's mixed match or whatever. She's throwing a spring party at a Mexican restaurant or whatever the BS was. And I'm like, Giselle, your house is mismatched, okay? Your fashions are mismatched. Like, what are you talking about? It's all mismatched, mixed match, whatever you want to say. Girl, it all ain't adding up, period. Okay? So anyway, Candiace and her sister, we do see them talking, okay? She tells her sister, listen, I'm trying to get pregnant by the end of the year. All right. So we'll see if that's really going to happen. We got a few more months this year. So we'll see if Miss Candiace get pregnant. I was hoping that she was pregnant, because when I saw on her IG page, I saw a rehearsal and it looked like, you know what I'm saying, maybe a little something was going on. But when I saw her at BravoCon looking as beautiful as she wants to look, I said, oh yeah, she's nowhere near that. At least as far along as I thought that she was. I mean, because who's to say she not already pregnant? You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, girl, she not, from what I saw. Okay. So anyway, there's that. She shares with her sister, with them wanting to have a kid, things can be a bit difficult. Just her and Chris finding the time to spend time together, because now he's working a job at the W. And because of that, he's working longer hours, late hours. And, she be sleep, he be tired. So they just be on different wavelengths. And she's hoping that they could get on one accord. Right. And I hope that they do get on one accord before the baby comes, because if they're already dealing with this friction and then they add a baby into the madness, it makes me feel like the relationship may be limited. Okay. So they're going to have to get through that. Work on that. But anyway, Ashley and Miss Deborah. We meet her friend Deborah. Ashley talks about Michael and how they don't sleep in the same room or whatever. Ashley talks about wanting to move and get her own home, and he's going to stay there. But I think she was trying to say that he probably going to have different women in the house or whatever, doing his thing. And she said that she going to be dating at some point too. She thinks about it, but she also said that she kind of feels a bit guilty for thinking about it, and also feeling like she owes him a bit of exclusiveness, because I think because they're still married, right? She's giving Kenya more, just a little bit, how Kenya didn't really want to date anybody or do anything until her and Mark fully get this divorce. And she sees that Mark is being a pain in the butt and not really trying to give her this divorce. So it seems like Kenya probably gonna have to go on and date as is, shy, because if not, he gonna keep her over there on the hook for a very long time. But anyway, girl, so what else they talk about? They talk about a heels class. Y'all know Ashley has been doing a lot of TikTok. She felt like that's been something to help her cope with a lot of things going on in her life right now. So she wants to do a heel class, and she plans on inviting everybody, including Candiace, because now they're on a better accord with each other. Okay, they're on better terms. So I think that would be dope. Okay, so there's that. Robyn and Giselle get a chance to have a sit down, right? And Robyn is pretty much checking Giselle's ass because Giselle told Ashley, girl, that the house that she got with Juan is only in her name. And Robyn did not like that. She like, girl, if this was your business, would you want your business out? Let us get to talk about your business and see how you moving. And Giselle was like, oh, girl, no. Please don't talk about my business, honey. Yes, you are right, girl. Please don't talk about, oh, please don't, honey. Please don't. Okay, so I'm just telling y'all what Giselle said, but I was glad that Robyn kind of checked her on that. I feel like we don't really see that often, but I'm liking the Robyn that I'm seeing so far. It's only been 2 episodes, right? I'm loving how Robyn called out everybody, because y'all not finna just come at me with your bullshit. I'm calling out everybody. I like how she checked Giselle and told her like, girl, you know, that's not cool. Don't do that. Why do you think that's okay? And I also like where she's standing in this particular moment. We'll see how the season's gonna go, but I like that she's standing on the side of whatever y'all trying to say Chris did really isn't that big deal. Like, y'all are trying to make it out to be like Chris is just a cool, laid back dude. Like, let's not. So I'm liking where Robyn is right now. Okay, so Giselle acknowledges that she was wrong, but I feel like Giselle knew exactly what she was doing when she sat up there and tried to lie and say, but I figured Ashley probably knew. You knew that girl didn't know that. You know your friend, or your quote unquote best friend Robyn. You know who she shares information with versus who she doesn't share information with. So you knew that girl did not know. You knew exactly what you were doing. And Giselle, you're gonna keep trying it, and you're gonna put Robyn in a position to where she's not gonna share certain details with you because she cannot trust you. Okay, so be careful with that. All right. Now Robyn says that his name is on the. Well, she says that his name is not on the home because he had a foreclosure. So therefore, his credit was still affected from that foreclosure. So because of that, she just decided to get the house in just her name. But it's not like it's just her home because it's their home together, right? That's how. And honestly, well, Robyn's not married yet, but I hear that often. I hear that often where married people, like, it'll only be in one person's name, but they're both existing, living in the house, taking care of the house, shared, all that other stuff. So to me, I don't know how other people are, but to me, it's not uncommon for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Had a foreclosure, and hey. They got a beautiful home. If that's what y'all needed to do to get a big old, huge, beautiful home, put it in Robyn or whatever, girl, do what y'all want to do, girl. Who the hell am I? Okay, because the house is definitely giving, honey. Anyway, so Giselle says that she only spoke on it because Ashley was talking about buying a house with the man that she's supposed to be leaving. That's the only reason why she spoke on it. But it's kind of like, use your own tea then. If that's how you feel, you don't have to use Robyn's tea to give an explanation or to help Ashley understand. Use your own tea. You ain't even have to bring that up. You could have just talked about what the divorce was like for you and your ex-husband Jamal, and how y'all had to divide up whatever y'all divided up. So, girl, you ain't have to bring that lady information into it, but we glad that you did, girl, because I mean, ain't gonna lie, girl. I'm like, what? What's really going on, girl? Okay, I ain't didn't let me know a little something, honey. But anyway, so Robyn says that she doesn't want to question her friends and that things are always about the delivery, okay? Because, of course, they started to talk about how she felt bad about how they were coming at Mia. Like, I don't want to question Ashley and what she got going on with Michael. And then, the way we came at Mia. Like, I think that the delivery is the most important thing. And that's what she was calling Giselle out about. Like, your delivery. Get your delivery together, girl. Because she don't. Like, Giselle don't know how to talk to nobody. Like, I don't be understanding. Girl, Giselle, I used to really like you, girl. You just really made me so mad last season. And then, just like seeing you, girl, you just get on my nerves now as I reflect. Giselle, like, girl. Ooh, anyway, let's keep going, honey. So Robyn and Ashley hung out and Ashley told her that she got a DM from Chris Bastiani, Miss Candiace's husband, at 2 a.m. And she like, why is this man DMing me? So Ashley was confused as to why he was DMing her. And Robyn, because she said, like, he was telling me, like, y'all probably should have just came to the W or whatever, right? So then Robyn says, you do know he works there, right? You do know he's the general manager over there, right? Shout out to Robyn. I'm so glad that Robyn said something. I'm glad that Robyn said, like, you do know that he's the GM over there, right? So that man really ain't trying to holler at you, girl. He's just trying to get people in seats, okay? He's trying to show that as he worked there, they made a great choice in choosing him as the general manager because he's bringing more money to the bar, right? So it looks like, and I think Robyn even asked, like, was he responding to, like, your story or something like that? And I think Ashley was like, well, I don't know. I mean, like, he could have been, I don't know. Listen, that man was responding um to that story, in my opinion. Granted, he could have said nothing at all, but what Ashley asked on the story was, how cute are we, or how cute are they, or something. But then she also tagged their location, which was park somewhere. So it seems like she could have been at another bar, and that bar, I don't know, I'm not in the area, but that bar also could have been attached to another hotel, which is why I believe Chris DM'd her and said, y'all should have just came to the W. You feel what I'm saying? So, and he probably would have hooked y'all up with drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all could have just came over here. You know what I'm saying? Make my facility look good. Why would he not reach out to the people that he know? On top of that, you got to follow him. Ashley was thinking that he probably was reaching out so he could try and holler at her friend. And it's like, must you think so low of this man to really think that? Like, y'all have been around Chris for how long? And you would really think that he was trying to holler at somebody else. So what are the real conversations that are happening behind the scenes that you would think about him in that manner? That's not making sense, okay? But anyway, let's go ahead and let's keep going, okay? So Giselle is saying that Chris slid in her DMs. Here she go, perfect timing, perfect timing. Oh yeah, well, Chris slid in my DMs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he slid in my DMs, and I feel away because I feel like it's real inappropriate. And then Robyn is like, well, why did you feel like it was inappropriate? Like, Chris looks at all of us like we're his friends. Like, it's not that serious. Like, why would you think that? Because I didn't like how he was talking to me at the reunion. Yeah, thank you for letting us know the real truth. See, Giselle was giving flack to Candiace. You feel what I'm saying? And she said something like, if Mia would have bopped Candiace in her face or whatever, she would have been like, okay, cool, like, it makes sense, or whatever the case was, right? So they give us a flashback to let us know how Chris did not appreciate the line of questioning. And I also think that he didn't like how Giselle likely came at his wife. He did not appreciate that. At least that's what I believe, okay? And because Giselle didn't like how he came at her, and then afterwards they chit chat and they talking after the reunion, and he went to your room to have a conversation, and she was like, "Oh, Kyle's in there." Well, I mean, once you saw Kyle wasn't in there, y'all could have stepped back outside or whatever the case was. But anyway, she trying to make it seem like it was a big deal. He was in there complaining about Candiace. They say, I'm like, was he complaining about Candiace, or was he complaining to you about your actions towards Candiace? What was that really? I'm sorry, y'all. I do not believe Chris made any passes at her. I mean, Giselle even admitted that he didn't. Some part of me doesn't even feel like he made her feel uncomfortable. I really don't. I feel like Michael Darby, yes. But out of all these years you've known Chris, yeah, I'm having a hard time. I think that Giselle saw a moment to have a storyline with Candiace based on what Ashley said, and she wanted to ride that train out because she ain't got nothing else going on. And the more I put more stuff out about other people and talk about that, then that will become the focal point, and nothing about what's going on with me will become the focal point. Just like when Robyn said, what about when we get in your business? You want us to do that? And then Giselle was like, oh, no, please don't. Please don't. So because of that, I really feel like Giselle knows exactly what she's doing. I don't believe that man meant any harm at all. And even with that, if you felt so threatened or you felt so much of a way, Giselle, it was inappropriate and all of that, why did you wait until y'all started back filming for you to have this conversation with Candiace? The reunion took place back in October of last year. So that means that everything happened around September, almost like a year later, right? So when you and Candiace initially had this conversation, I believe it happened around March or April-ish, somewhere up in there, February, March, because I really feel like they started filming in the middle of March or early March of this year. So you waited from September, okay? So October, November, December, January, February. So you waited 5 months. You waited 5 months for you to actually sit down and have a conversation with this lady. Like, girl, you bogus. I don't believe Giselle talking about. Period. Sorry, not gonna get me. You definitely trying to play this situation up, girl. Bye. Not trusting Giselle. Go away from me with this. Okay, so Robyn doesn't see it being that deep. Robyn says he didn't touch her. She was like, did he touch you? She was like, no. Did he do anything inappropriate or whatever? No, he didn't. But you still felt like it was inappropriate. He didn't do anything inappropriate, but you felt like it was inappropriate. It was inappropriate for you to let him come into your room when nobody was there to have a conversation. And then felt like if you wanted to go there with him, or he was trying to basically, because it's funny, because it seems like we're going to see her kind of shift the conversation to make it appear as though it's more serious than what she initially led it to be. She's going to try to make it seem like, oh, well, he did, he was trying to, try me. He was trying to see if I was really with it, like if I wanted to go in that direction with him, like get it in with him, like he would do that. Like, that makes no fucking sense, Giselle, especially when his wife is in the same fucking hotel as you, especially when his wife is probably down the hall or on the floor above you. Y'all probably on the same floor, ain't no telling. But for real, like, that's what does not make any sense. His wife is on that trip. What does he look like trying you? That makes no sense. And anybody that really believes what Giselle is saying, girl, I'm going to be questioning you, because that's just not adding up for me, okay? Anyway, so Giselle says that Chris came at her like he was trying her because he wasn't happy with Candiace or whatever. And I'm like, I don't believe that shit. I feel like he wasn't happy with your ass and how you handled yourself. And I also feel like he wasn't happy with the reunion just as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the one that got to come home and deal with all of the yelling, the fussing, the crying, the complaints or whatever that y'all women dish out. So yeah, I feel like that's where it came from. Girl, miss me with this shit. So anyway, girl, let's go ahead. And then she trying to make it seem, and even if he was not happy with Candiace, I would think that it's more so I'm disappointed in what she did at the reunion. I still wouldn't see that as him being like, why would he confide in you in that short amount of time right after the reunion to make it seem like he not happy with her? Like, you trying to make it seem like not happy in his marriage. Like, that's how Giselle was trying to play it up, like he was not happy in his marriage. Girl, Giselle, let me cute. So Jacqueline and Mia link up, okay, along with Mia's husband G. But let Jacqueline tell the girl this her husband away. He was ready to get her to sit next to him and stuff. And then Mia getting in the confessional trying to convince us that ain't nothing ever happened between G and her best friend. And I said, all right, then, girl, if that's what you want people to believe, then I guess we'll go along for the time being, honey. So then Mia lets us know that she has to get further testing done to find out what's really going on, okay? So I guess they got the biopsies or whatever you call it. They got some of the tests done, and based on those tests, they need to do further tests, all right? Now, Jacqueline says, listen, girl, I was really pissed off with the ladies because I just really felt like they should have been more concerned about you. They should have been more concerned about everything that you had going on. And we're at this spring event. It's supposed to be happy, fun times. But then they come to the event on some BS. And then she says, girl, do you think that Karen was out here doing a CYA? And Mia was like, CYA? She was like, yeah, covering your ass. Girl, even her husband knew what that meant. Yes, covering your ass. And I'm like, yes, Jacqueline, you better know what it is. Karen always does that. Karen always does that. But people always give Karen grace and overlook the bullshit that she does because of her age and the fact that she was able to get whatever facelifts and whatever else, adjustments she was able to get to her body, get her wigs right and her fashions right, and upstage Giselle. And because of those things, that's why she often gets passes, okay? More so because she gets with Giselle when Giselle tries to get with her, but they overlook and they give her passes. That's definitely what Karen does. She definitely tries to cover her ass. I feel like she tried to do it with, Monique and stuff and others. That's what Karen does, and I called it out years ago, and that's what she do, girl. That's just what it is, okay? So Mia says that Karen texted her a day before the event. Keep this in mind. Karen texted her a day before the event and gave her a heads up on the ladies talking shit about her. Okay? Keep that in mind. And you know why I say that? Because it reminds me of the time when she tried to mend fences between Candiace and Monique after they got into that altercation. All right. They had a very fragile, absolutely no relationship at all. And I don't know if y'all remember, Karen was doing her wig showing, whatever, launch or whatever, and she invited Monique there. She also invited Candiace there, but she pushed Candiace's time back to get Candiace to end up being there around the same time that Monique was there. But can't let Karen tell it. Karen keeps trying to say no, she moved the time so that they would miss each other because she realized she misscheduled them. No, I don't believe that. I still believe Karen was trying to play the quote unquote grand dame role, and she also was trying to play the quote unquote big sister role so women can feel indebted to her should she have gotten their friendship back on track. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was given to me. Right? So when I hear that she did this to Mia as far as sending a text message or ahead of time, I'm like, girl, that reminds me. That reminds me when I think about covering your S type. Yep. I can see that. I'm glad they showed those messages. And it's like, Karen, Mia was right. You had a lot of opportunities to go to her and have a conversation to let her know what the ladies were thinking. Like, you kind of tried to allude to something earlier when you said, well, you know how the ladies can be and da 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 da. So it seems like you kind of tried to allude to some things, but you could have gave her a heads up or something. So I definitely agree with Mia on that. Okay. So anyway, Mia felt like Karen had plenty of opportunities to let her know what was going on, okay, and how they were feeling. So Mia says Giselle also reached out to her, but she left Giselle on red. She says, listen, I'm tired of being that nice to these hoes. I'm tired. And they're gonna have to meet the real deal Mia mother and Thornton, baby. And I'm just telling y'all what it is that Miss Mia had to say, okay? So there's that, right? So then Ashley and Candiace ended up linking up, and I was happy about this. Like, yes, let's progress, let's move on, let's move forward. So Ashley and Candiace link up, and Ashley was really nervous because she didn't know how to have this conversation with Candiace because she didn't know if Candiace was gonna blow up, snap on her or whatever. They just now getting cool, so she ain't trying to ruffle no feathers or nothing. So Ashley just put it out there like, girl, listen, I just want to let you know your husband DM me, girl. And Candiace said, what husband, Chris? She was like, yeah, girl. She was like, why? She said, well, he just DM'd me and told me that, I should have came to the W. It was at 2 a.m. in the morning. I knew you weren't around, so I just wasn't sure about that. And Candiace is like, oh. She was like, well, just understand this, okay? She says he works for the W. He's the general manager over there. So with him being the general manager, of course, he's trying to reach out to my friends to get them into the building, girl. Like, it wasn't anything that deep, but what I can say is that I appreciate you for coming to me and telling me what it is that, happened. Because, girl, listen, if my man was really out there in them streets like that, girl, I would want somebody to know because, I'll tell you. And then Ashley said, girl, and you did. So it was cute. Candiace did not make it. She didn't take it to be that deep or that serious. So all is well in the land. She understood what Chris was trying to do. But I'll be honest, I feel like Candiace was still like, it seemed like Candiace was like covering for her husband, but at the same time, like, no, he wouldn't. Would he? No, he wouldn't. No, I know he would. No, I don't know. You feel me? So I feel like she's probably going to bring that conversation up to her husband at some point. But yeah, she going to have to. She going to have to bring it up, because she's going to have to tell him about the altercation and things that happened with Miss Giselle. So she going to have to end up bringing that up. Like, Ashley said this or that. Because, see, that's the other thing. Did he not tell you? That's the other thing, though, y'all. I understand him reaching out to the friends, but why you ain't even tell Candiace, like, hey, I reached out to Ashley trying to see if she would come to da-da-da-da-da. I mean, maybe he thinks that based on their relationship, he and his wife, that he doesn't have to tell her when he's hitting her friends up. But that's the only other thing that'll make me like raise my eyebrows slightly. Like, why you ain't just tell her that you hit her up? Because obviously Candiace was surprised that he even hit her up. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, girl. Let me shut up, girl. Let me just keep going. Okay? Anyway, Ashley decided that she's going to have this dance class, honey. Karen decided that she couldn't show up because she got 102 fever. I said, girl, well, then you on the way to being dead. Ain't it talking about 102? All right, but anyway, girl, I'm glad Karen is better. Okay, so Robyn is wondering if she knew Sharice was coming to the dance class. She says, because I think that Karen is actually avoiding trying to see Sharice. And I'm like, well, girl, you probably got a point there, right? And Giselle also feels the same way. So Sharice has tried to reach out to Karen, but Karen hasn't been returning any phone calls, text messages, and nothing. So it's clear that she is not trying to be around Sharice. And I do feel like Karen probably got a heads up. I do. But then it's also giving, why would Karen make up such a specific fever? She could have just said, oh, I got a fever. Why would she say she got 102-degree fever? That's why she not come out. She didn't even have to explain it down to the numbers. She could have just said, girl, I'm not feeling well. I got a fever. Like, it is what it is. But because she gave us a number, a degree, it makes me feel like maybe Karen wasn't lying. Like, maybe she legit was sick for real, for real. But we'll see, okay? So I do also feel like, I think Giselle or somebody said Karen acts like she's intimidated or something like that. Maybe it was Robyn by Sharice. And some part of me is giving, I feel like Karen might be slightly intimidated by Sharice. Not so much as the things that she has. Because, I think that Karen got her coin. She's still with her man. Sharice not with her man. They both of their kids are grown and up out. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if she is intimidated, she could be intimidated based on the information that Sharice has on her. But I don't think she's intimidated based on the things that Sharice has. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Karen got probably all of that and then some. I think it's more so the information that Sharice may have on her. But either way, girl, we'll see. We'll see. Now, Ashley calls Giselle out for being accusatory towards her, like saying that I guess she wanted to divorce or separate from Michael for attention, right? So Giselle has said, well, no, because you misinterpreted stuff, and let me clear that up for you, girl. I was saying that Mia was doing what she was doing for attention. Okay, so there's the difference. She says, but for you, I feel like you playing with divorce, okay? Because 1 minute you talking about you getting a divorce, and then next thing you know, we hearing that you about to buy a house. And when it comes to divorce, that's something that I don't play with. Giselle, shut up. Girl, not you saying you don't play with divorce, girl, but you turning around, getting right back with the same man that dogs you out. But let's keep going. So Ashley is like, wait a minute, B. Now, didn't you reconcile with your ex? Okay, so don't try me about what I need to do, girl. No. Don't try me about what it is I need to do, girl. Okay, Giselle is like, okay, but is y'all together or what, girl? That's what I'm trying to find out, okay? Because Giselle did say, yeah, I did get back with Jamal, but I got back with Jamal like 15 years later. What are you talking about, okay? But are you and Michael still together? And Ashley says no. But he hasn't cheated on me and doesn't have any outside children. I feel like that was shade towards Giselle because, rumors had it that, he did have a kid outside of Giselle, when, they was married or whatever like that. I don't know which part is, 100% true, but those are the things that the people were saying, okay? So, I feel like Ashley was kind of throwing shade at her. So Giselle was like, when Ashley said that he hasn't cheated on her, she said, girl, he hasn't cheated on you. And then Ashley paused, y'all. And then she says, not lately. Not lately. Girl, I hollered. It was the not lately for me. Ooh, child. Girl, why I'm thinking about Tyrese. Was it Tyrese that said, have I told you I love you lately? Girl, I don't know who sang that song, but it made me think about that. It's like, have I told you I cheated lately? Have I told you I can't? You don't mean the world to me. But anyway, so there's that. Ashley was just trying to make a point. Like, listen, girl, I'm just trying to get you to understand. Like, he hasn't done some of the things to me that your NIGGA did to you, girl. Okay, understand that. So our situation may not be hostile, but Ashley, you know that it could get hostile. That's why you're afraid to go get your own attorney. It could get hostile real motherfucking quick. Okay, so. Anyway, girl, and it also seems like it'll definitely get hostile because it seems like you the one that want the divorce. So I don't know who filed. I don't know if it was Ashley that filed for the separation or Michael. I don't know, but I would think that you the one that wanted more than him. But anyway, let's keep going. So Sharice is just a bit confused, okay? She feels like if they are separating and Michael wants to give Ashley a house, she sees nothing wrong with that. But what Sharice does not know is that the house is still going to be in Michael's name. So I wonder how she's going to, what her thoughts are going to be when she finds that information out. Now, Giselle talks with Candiace because all of the ladies showed up outside of even Sharice showed up outside of Miss Karen for the dance class, okay? Robyn, you need more practice, girl. You do. You need more. I don't know what, Robyn. We knew you couldn't dance at your engagement party. Okay, all them little dips you was doing, girl. Robyn, what school did you go to? Girl, it's giving PWI. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. So Giselle decides to pull Candiace to the side, right, to talk to her about her man, Chris. Again, Giselle, we ask, why did it take you 5 months to have this conversation? Giselle tells her that they were at the reunion and she didn't like how after the reunion he wanted to talk to her in private, okay? Candiace is like, okay, so what happened? What happened? She said something like, I don't remember what he said or whatever. I just remember feeling uncomfortable, like I shouldn't be in this particular situation or whatever, right? And that's very weird to me as well, because I'm like, Giselle, did you have bad intentions with Chris? Was it you that had bad intentions, or was it you that started to feel this man a bit more and you weren't trusting yourself, that you were in a private space with him? Like, is that what it was? I would like to know more why you trying to put this off on him, because everybody is always wrong but Giselle. So I don't know. I don't know, girl, but I would like to know. Okay, so anyway, Candiace is just a bit confused. Okay, Giselle is telling her, like, Kyle, I thought he was in the room. I get back to the room and Kyle wasn't in the room, and that's what's so funny to me, right? Keep in mind what Giselle said. Giselle says that Kyle told her that he did not like that Chris went into her room by himself because Chris waved at him when he left. Keep this in mind. Chris waved at him when he left. Now, earlier when Giselle told the conversation to Robyn, Giselle says that she forgot that Kyle was not in her room. She thought Kyle was in her room, but he wasn't once she got there. Right? One, y'all could have walked back outside. I'm sure Chris would have been an okay person to walk back outside. Two, how is it that Chris saw Kyle and said bye to him, but you didn't see Kyle and say bye to him? That's not adding up when he's your people. Why would you bring your people to this area and then not say bye to them? So you motherfucking knew that man was not in your room. And now you just started some shit, basically. You knew that. And you knew you was bringing Chris back to a private room, which makes me wonder and question, Giselle, were you feeling some kind of way? Okay, were you getting a bit of misty yourself, ma'am? And you couldn't handle yourself being in a room with somebody else's husband? You feel me? So, and you trying to put it off on him like he's the problem? Are you the problem? It's not adding up. Anyway, girl, what else ended up happening? So Candiace is like, did he do anything? Did he say anything? Or whatever? And Giselle was like, no. And she was like, okay, no. When she said that, Giselle said no. Candiace was like, exactly. She said, because he wouldn't do that. Okay, that's not what he does or whatever like that. And then Giselle tells this girl, like, okay, yeah, I know you're trying to defend your husband or whatever, but you can't diminish how it is that I felt. And I said, are you out your damn mind? You sit up here and diminish how people feel every episode. You sit out here and you diminish these people's feelings. Girl, you just did it to damn Mia not too long ago. And you have the audacity to tell Candiace that although she's defending her husband, she can't diminish how you felt when, girl, the man ain't even do nothing. You even said that he ain't do nothing inappropriate. You just felt uncomfortable. That leads me to believe, in the words of Funky Dineva, you was getting hot all between your legs and in your butt. That's what that was. Okay, so cut it out. So Candiace goes off on the producer. She pulls the producer to the side. She's like, I'm done. I was proud of Candiace because you could hear the cracking in her voice like she wanted to cry, but she kind of sucked it up in that moment and like, let me just get out what I got to say. But I don't know, girl. We might see it next episode. Tissue may come out. She might do a little tears. I don't know. But Candiace goes off on the producer and telling them they don't need me here. She said, if y'all job and y'all goal this season is to insult my motherfucking husband, then you do not need me. Okay? That's not what it's about for my husband. She said, if y'all want somebody's husband to rag and tag on that do shit like this, get Michael Darby. Call him, because Michael Darby is available for that, not my husband. And I loved it. I loved it, but I was like, girl, you and Ashley finna be back on the damn outs. Y'all finna go back into it. And I hope that Ashley just let this slide and fly, girl. Because you don't even want to be with this man for real, either, girl. Okay? Based on all of the stuff that he's done in the past few seasons. Okay? So let's just let it ride. But I definitely was with Candiace. It made me think about when Chris had to go off on Michael. He said, you could disrespect your husband all you want to, but you won't disrespect. No, he said, you could disrespect your wife all you want to, but you won't disrespect mine. Something like that, or you won't do it to mine. Whatever he said, that's what I was thinking about when I saw Candiace going off on the producers. Y'all can disrespect Michael Darby all y'all can want to, but you won't disrespect my husband, okay? And I know she wanted to get on her Will Smith just a little bit. Keep my husband's name out your motherfucking mouth. Keep my husband's name out your motherfucking mouth. Period. But let me tell y'all what else I loved. I loved how Candiace got up, had no more words for Giselle. She didn't fight it. She didn't do nothing. She said, okay. She got up. She went to that corner. She collected her things. She grabbed the producer. She said whatever she needed to say. And that was that. I don't know if there's going to be more conversation in that particular scene for Candiace and Giselle. I hope not. But I love that Candiace was like, okay, bitch, I ain't got nothing to say. Get my and let me just go ahead and go, honey. But Ashley seemed like she could have been a bit concerned for real. Like, is Candiace okay? So I'm hoping this situation does not drive a wedge between the two ladies, but kind of bring them a bit closer in their friendship. And I hope that this is the season that a lot of the cast kind of see that Giselle can be a problem. Like, Robyn has already called her out for her telling her business or whatever the case, and then overhyping the situation that's not that deep when it comes to Chris, and also overhyping the damn situation when it comes to Mia. She's already came at Mia. Now she's gunning for Candiace. Karen has experienced years of Giselle's of bullshit. Okay, so I'm just wondering if y'all gonna come to the front and, you know, start an intervention on her ass, since she always trying to do an intervention on other folks. But anyway, girl, that's all that I got, honey. All right, I'm Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.